Hey, welcome back to another real estate lunchbox where we just don't talk about real estate. We talk about everything that's in a lunchbox. And one of the things that I definitely wanted to cover was this article. And I was listening to Anton Daniels. Guys, if you don't know who he is, go ahead and check out the Millionaire Morning Show. Shout out to Anton Daniels, all the things you do. He breaks a lot of these stories. And I think this is something that we have to keep an eye on because if actors are having problems,
They saying that your favorite celebrities and actors who has made millions, tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars, are all trying to come back into the spotlight and make a bunch of movies and make a bunch of money because they are broke. I have done my research on that because they broke. Let's continue. Let's get into it.
A headline I got to be honest, Ken, it caught me off guard. Jim Carrey came out of retirement because he needs money. Well, apparently he's not the only one. Al Pacino, Hugh Grant, Nicolas Cage, Harrison Ford. These folks, if they can't retire with all the cash that they've made, how can the average American?
Now that's the big thing right there. And if you look at the screen, you'll notice we've seen reboots of a lot of shows that these guys have been in. I was telling my wife, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Harrison Ford. Remember that new Raiders of the Lost Ark movie that came out? I was like, Harrison Ford, it was cool to see a good Raiders of the Lost Ark movie. I mean, I like Raiders of the Lost Ark, but and I like his movies, but man, I just was looking, I said, he looks kind of old right now. It looks like he wanted to do it, but then he didn't want to do it. You can kind of feel through the show that he was like, what's next? And so Jim Carrey, Al Pacino, Jim Carrey's gonna be in that new Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie. Okay. Um, man, they gotta go back in. Al Pacino, Hugh Grant, Nicolas Cage. Oh man. I mean, these are artists, actors that have made millions and millions of dollars. And because of the way the economy is going right now, they've got to go back to work. Got to go back to work. And that, I know that would suck for them, but as Americans, average of people that are out here working 9 to 5s, we're like, so what? Who cares? We like to model and to worship these guys. We idolize who they are, the fact that they made it. You see people that leave their homes, they run away to California to become actors, or they want to be in that favorite show, or they want to be in that people have expired to be like these guys for so long, for a period of time. And I say it's smoke and mirrors. It's smoke and mirrors simply because it's not true. You think about it. If they're getting fifty million for a video, for a movie, let's say 10 million for a movie. Let's drop it, say 10 million for a movie. They get 10 million to actually do a movie. They've bought and purchased so many items, so much stuff that how much money of that 10 it has to go to sustain their lifestyle. And we see right now that is a huge amount because these guys are going broke and they got to get back into the business. But hey, that's the way it is right about now. So enough with all that actor stuff. I had to jump into this story because this is probably one of the most controversial, crazy, scariest things to ever happen in the real estate space, especially when you talk about female realtors that are out here doing business. And when you talk about high producing realtors also that are out here making a ton of money, even in a recession. People like this that I'm about to introduce you to, the Alexander brothers, if you don't know anything about them, they've been on the top of the real estate food chain for years. We're not just talking about agents that actually close regular real estate deals and do a ton of them. We're talking about agents that are ultra wealthy. Like they deal with they're not ultra wealthy. They deal with the ultra wealthy. They deal with people, the Saudi princesses, high net worth earners, um, 30 30 million, 10, $15 million homes. Now, to give you a concept, these guys have been in the top 3, at least in the top 3, probably top 5 out of real estate agents and brokers in the country. And I would probably say close to the world, but let's say the country. We definitely know. These are the Alexander brothers. And these guys have been charged with some real heinous things. Now, to let you guys know, there's a real estate channel called, a real estate publication called The Real Deal. The Real Deal broke this back in March. Back in March. They broke the story because the Alexander brothers were being sued by women that said, hey, they raped me, they drugged me, and they raped me violently. Now, that was a lawsuit, but these guys are on the next level. Now they're facing state and federal charges for using their money, using their wealth, using their influence, and using their accessibility to this luxury lifestyle to drag women across the globe, different states, different places, with the guise of giving them a good luxury experience. They may say, hey, I'm trying to get to know you, I want to know you a little bit better, but they drag them out there and then they rape them. And these are the Alexander brothers, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this.
At Official, we look at some of the top luxury brands in luxury goods space.
But according to a federal indictment, prosecutors allege the brothers used the promise of luxury experiences, travel, and accommodations to lure and entice women to locations where they were then forcibly raped or sexually assaulted, sometimes by multiple men, including one or more of the Alexander brothers. Prosecutors also accuse the Alexander brothers of procuring drugs, including cocaine and GHB, a sedative sometimes used as a party drug.
So they're telling these women, they're luring them out here with the guise of money, a good time. And I got to slow this down because I never like to make women a victim. When a woman is violated, that's a heinous act, period, because she didn't give you permission to go there and you went there. Okay. So I'm not going to blame women, but I am going to I'm not going to blame the women that got violently raped in this situation, but I'm going to pull and extract this one thing out. If you noticed, they lured them in with wealth. They lured them in with luxury, lavish lifestyle, places and trips, money. So they got them. Now, there is a scripture in the Bible which does talk about how the love of money is the root of all evil, okay? And how your fleshly desires can actually be used against you, to lure you into certain places that you really, really, really shouldn't be at. But these guys, a different level with these guys, because these guys have been running a real estate business on a luxury side on a level that not too many people have actually experienced or even seen. Matter of fact, the concept of luxury up until probably 2007, 2008 was, luxury. They redefined luxury agents in the real estate space when it came to dealing with real estate clients and things like that. So this is not a small thing. And some people look at it, they say, okay, this is a joke. You're talking about people that dealt with business with Saudi princesses, some of the highest net worth earners in the world. Okay. Woo. That's a scary place to be on. Very, very scary. But these guys hold a different place, a very, very different place. So we're gonna drop in and do a little bit more. I'm gonna give you a deep dive so you get a better concept of what these guys are. So these guys were so well known that they had their own room in one of LA's or Beverly Hills' most profound brothels. I call them a brothel.
Despite going to New York a ton of times, there's this guy called Sir Ivan. Remember that name? He's known as the Hugh Hefner of the Hamptons. There it is right there. Now, he would throw these wild sex parties and orgies and romps and be very open about it. There's the Hamptons Castle. You've heard about it, Tom? You ever been?
No, I've never been, but I've heard about Sir Ivan's Castle.
So
he's a member.
Apparently, the guys had...
Tom, just tell him.
Tom, you've been to the castle.
Tom, you saw how he got happy? He was like,
all right, I have the gold key.
It's like this Game of Thrones-esque Playboy mansion in the Hamptons. And allegedly, the boys had their own room here.
Oh,
so when you talk about partying, we talk about sex, drugs, rock and roll, this is what's going down in the Hamptons. So this guy, Ivan, retroactively has now come out and said, the Alexander brothers are no longer invited to the parties. Yeah, no shit, guy. Just cover your own ass. What I'll say is this. Let the facts play out. Let's see what happens here. These are serious allegations. And the number one guys in real estate are really in some hot water here, and we'll see what happens. Go ahead.
There was one piece in the yearbook, their high school yearbook, where Orin, I think it was Orin, one of the brothers, their twin brothers, because you got twin brothers, Orin and Alan. Then you got Tal, their older brother, and then you got a cousin also. Nobody's really, the cousin supposedly is in Japan somewhere on his way back to the US. We're gonna see how that works out. But these guys have been doing this for a while. This is not a brand new thing.
And also use terms from the business world when talking about women. For example, Orin says, just trying to make sure I get max returns, was going to come for that Sunday night tax and make sure all girls make quota. Orin also allegedly said, no free rides under my watch. That's more than most of us have ever spent on girls. Just want to make sure we get a good ROI. ROI stands for return on investment. Now, the government also alleges that if women complained about their treatment or tried to report assaults, they were targeted. The letter reads, in March 2024, multiple lawsuits alleging sexual misconduct and assault against the Alexander brothers were publicly reported. In response to the public accusations, Alon Alexander began compiling files on each publicly identified victim and several who had not made public accusations as part of an apparent attempt to discredit their accusers. The government's investigation of the defendant's obstructive conduct is ongoing.
It seems like the people that do all the wrong crap in real estate don't get what they're supposed to get, but then the ones who do all the wrong crap, well, the ones that don't seem to get it. I mean, minor infractions, but this is kind of where we live right now. These guys are high producers. So I don't think the real estate commission was not the real estate. I keep saying real estate commission. It's National Association of Realtors. That's who it is. That's who collects our dues every year. That nice hefty $500 to $600 if you're living in Georgia. Yeah, they're the ones that do it, you know? So they obviously did not think this was a threat. So these guys have been flying under the radar for years. And I'm so surprised that nobody reported them or nothing happened. And now the way they got caught is they had a snitch. So in the court documents, there were two men named as male number one and male number two. Their names are never mentioned at all. But these guys, I suspect are the snitch. So I suspect they got some information on them and squeezed them enough where they were able to pull this out of them. When you look at this world, when you look at the love of money and how these guys use money to lure women in, and we're in this place right now where the economy's not all that great, I encourage you, if you're a female, you've made it this far in this video, do not think that money is the way out. Don't think that. Money can make you very comfortable. It can do certain things that, yeah, you'll feel comfortable really good. I'm not going to say that. It can make you happy. But at the same time, it can also be like the worst thing to draw you out, and it can destroy you so bad. And in this case, unfortunately, the love of money not just destroyed them, but it destroyed the lives of women. A lot of women over the last 20 years, 10 years, since they were in high school. Stay safe out here. If you're a woman, please get some physical training, get some jujitsu training, some martial arts training, protect yourself, protect your back, because you got slime buckets like this that are out here and they're wreaking havoc. And you know what's so crazy about this is funny. During the bill hearing, one of the brothers actually told the judge he couldn't stay in prison because his wife is pregnant. Yeah, I said it. His wife is pregnant. Huh. Hey guys, this is another Real Estate Lunchbox. Like, subscribe, follow for more content. I see you guys in the next video. Thank you for taking the time to check me out. Love you guys. Peace. Have a great day.